Okay, we are after 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Final session before lunch. And this is our session on mobile channels. So before we get started, I know that there is one very pressing question that you all have, which is, why the hell is he wearing a tie? Okay, there are 300 people here, and I am one of two that is wearing a tie. And the answer to that question is, my name is Mark Petrie. I'm the Senior Director of R&D, and I spend 51 weeks of the year locked in a cave with 60 other developers. And for the 1 week a year when they let me out to see the sunshine, I like to make the most of it and get dressed up. So that's why I'm wearing a tie. However, they don't let me out on my own. I have a chaperone with me. So this is my colleague, Anastasia. She is one of our solutions engineers, and she's going to take us through how we create some engaging mobile campaigns.
And I wear a kimono.
Yes. And I learned this morning she used to be a goth, so is very suited to working with the developers. Okay. So we're here to talk about our mobile channels, okay? And what I want you to take away from this session, you all know the benefits of multi-channel marketing. You wouldn't be Optimove clients if you didn't. What I want you to take away from this session is how more effective multi-channel marketing campaigns can be if mobile is one of the channels. I'm going to take you through what our different mobile channels are, and then Anastasia is going to show you how you can create really engaging mobile campaigns. We'll see how we can combine the channels together for maximum effectiveness, and then we're going to talk about some of the newer features we have coming that will enable you to put your users in control of the types of content they receive. Okay, so why mobile? Okay, why should you add mobile channels to your marketing campaigns? So I like to answer this question by saying, why should you pick any channel? Okay, why should you choose email as the channel to send, or SMS, or mobile push? Why should you pick any channel for your campaigns? And the way we like to think about it is that each channel has different characteristics, okay, and each channel performs differently to the others according to these characteristics. So the first thing we like to think about is reachability. Okay, how much of your audience is available via a given channel? How many of your customers have opted in to receive content via that channel? If the campaign is time sensitive, the immediacy of the channel will be important to consider. What are the conversion rates for the channel like? Different channels have different conversion rates. Some perform better than others. And of course, different channels have different cost implications. So these are the types of things we like to think about when we're sort of trading off one channel versus the other. And of course, it's not a case that one channel beats them all. Different channels are suited to different types of campaigns. So how does mobile stack up? First of all, we all know as consumers, okay, we spend our lives on our mobile phones. 6.6 billion mobile phones in the world. We spend 5 hours a day, unless you're a teenager, when you can sort of triple that for the amount of time we spend in mobile apps every day. And what this does is it combines to meaning that mobile channels perform very well when it comes to immediacy. So the typical time, the average time to open an SMS is 30 seconds after it's received. Compare this to email, the average time can be in hours. Okay, we always see a big spike when we send the email, but then the long tail can be as much as 6.5 hours after the email was sent. So immediacy, mobile channels perform very, very well. But that's all well and saying, we have 6.5 billion mobile devices. How reachable is your audience? How many of them have opted in to receive mobile messages? And it's another area where mobile channels perform very, very well. On iOS, for app-based messaging like push notifications, we see opt-in rates over 50%. On Android, it's even higher. We see opt-in rates of over 80% for push notifications on mobile devices. Okay, so we know they perform well for immediacy, we know that your audience is reachable, and of course combined, this means that the response rates, the conversion rates that we see on mobile are very, very high. Comparing just a single channel mobile push campaign to email campaigns in some of our clients, we see almost double the response rate for push campaigns. So when it comes to evaluating mobile as channels you should add into your multi-channel marketing strategy, your audience is reachable, okay, very high opt-in rates. The channels perform very well for immediacy, and together this combines to give very, very high conversion rates. Okay, are mobile channels more expensive? Yes, of course they are. We know it's much more expensive to send an SMS than it is to send an email. But that means that they perform better for different types of campaigns. So later funnel campaigns, you know, SMS can be a much more effective channel in terms of conversion than email. It is more expensive, but the results can be better. Okay? So, as I started off by saying, you wouldn't be Optimove clients if you didn't believe that multi-channel campaigns perform better. Okay, we know, you'll have seen this in lots of different collateral that we have. When we compare a multi-channel campaign to a single-channel campaign, the response rates and the uplift in revenue can be 60, 70% higher. Okay, what I want you to take away, you know this is not new. What I want you to take away from this session is that if we add mobile as one of the channels, then the response rates are even higher still. So in an internal study that we did, where we looked at multi-channel campaigns with mobile as one of the channels versus campaigns that didn't have mobile as one of the channels, we see a response rate of a third higher than that. So that's the intro to this session. Okay, if you're not already using mobile today, you should really consider it. And I'm going to talk to you about the different channels that we have and that are available to you. And then later on, come see me in the Optimove Connect zone, and we can talk about, you know, we can go to one of the booths and we can talk about how you get going with these channels. Okay, so when I say mobile, am I purely talking about app-based messaging? Not just. I am talking about app-based messaging, but not just. And what I want you to do now is walk you through all of the different channels that we have available for you. So, of course, when we say mobile, we all think of OptiMobile. We think of mobile push notifications. And that is one of the channels that we have. And if you have a native app, you are more than likely using this in some form of another. But we also have another app-based messaging channel, which is our in-app messaging channel. Now, mobile push is fantastic for engaging an inactive audience. So this is an audience that are not in your mobile app. It performs very well in terms of immediacy. We get the notification, we get to see it in our notification center, and it can drive us back into the app. The downside of mobile push is you're limited in the amount of content that you can send. Okay, we like to think of it as a nudge. It's a tickle to get you back into the app. Okay, in-app messaging, conversely, you can send much richer content, you know, images, videos, full screen takeovers. Okay, the downside of in-app is it's for your active audience. People only see these messages when they go to the app. So what Optimove allows you to do, though, is combine these channels together within a single campaign. Okay, you can send an in-app message with a push notification, with a tickle, with a nudge. So the user sees the notification flash up, they click on it, they're directed into the app, and they can see the full rich content that you have. And when you do this, again, the conversion rates that we see are higher than either an in-app on its own or a push on its own. Okay, so we have these app-based messaging channels if you have native mobile apps. Okay, if you don't have a native mobile app, that's where our web-based channels come in. Many of you will be familiar with our website pop-ups channel. This is a channel we've had within Optimove for years. But we also have web push notifications and web inbox. Okay? So if you have a progressive web app or a mobile responsive website, this is where these can come in. Okay, the web push notification, just like a mobile push notification for engaging your inactive audience on Android. And then we have the web inbox, which is where you can send persistent messaging to an inbox within your PWA or your website. We have our OptiText, our text-based channels. So SMS, MMS, and we will soon have full RCS support within this channel, and WhatsApp. This is our conversational-based channel as well. So When we talk about mobile, we're not necessarily just talking about native app-based messaging. It's a huge part of what we do. It's where we started, but we have more than that. And please do come talk to us after the session, and we can talk about your specific use cases and how we can help there. Okay, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Anastasia now, and she's going to show you some of these channels in action.
Thanks.
Okay.
So we're going to move to our demo site, and we just headed to our plan tab, and we just launched one of the push templates that I've pre-created over here. And Mark just explained to us the power of mobile messaging. We always have our phone with us, no matter where we are. But mobile messages are also very oftenly ignored, and they're easy to be ignored because when we're talking specifically about push, there's like just that little space for content, right? We can just swipe it to the left and ignore from it. So our goal is to really create those messages that are engaging and going to drive action. And the first element is going to be around personalization. And personalization is really at the core of Optimove. It has been one of our philosophies even before we introduced all the mobile channels in the last 2 years. And when you're using Optimove and you're using our native channels, personalizing a message is really easy. So with just one click of a button, I can choose to personalize based on any customer data that I have, or even drive conditional logic. So using customers or players' preferences for their past games, past products, to really send different messages that will resonate with each one of the customers differently. And those personalized messages increase engagement rates by up to 8%. Another element will be around incorporating rich images. So images, GIFs, and people, they just process images faster than text, right? This is simply the way that we are built. Now, adding an image, we can use one of the images from our galleries, or even uploading a dynamic URL. So leveraging recommendation models powered by OptiX or by Movable Ink, right? So we display a different recommendation, a different image for a different game or a different product to each one of our customers differently. So this is how we're going to make our push notifications a lot more appealing and engaging. But we also want to make sure that we think about our customers and when and how they want to be interrupted. Since iOS 15, they introduced a focus mode. So now users can control when and how they receive notifications. And this is because Apple understands the needs of marketeers to send all those messages to drive engagement, but also understand the needs of customers and not being interrupted by their phone all day. So consider using the interruption level to elevate your strategy. When you don't have campaigns that are time sensitive, right? Maybe it's just a new product launch, or maybe it's just a friendly reminder. Consider using passive notification setting. This means that the phone is not going to be awakened, and your users are still going to receive the notification, but on their convenient time. And the last element around that same space would be to use a preference center. Now, I'm not going to spoiler that too much. It's our latest release. Mark is going to talk about it in a few minutes. But it means that you're giving your users control on what messages they want to receive. Whether they want to receive messages that are strictly for casino or strictly for a specific promotion or newsletter. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to opt out of the notification. It means that they're going to be more engaged with the messaging that they are willing to accept. And this is really powerful. And now that we understood how we're creating this engaging push messages, we also want to move to our next channel, which is in-app messaging. So let's say that Mark, although a very loyal customer of us, he didn't opt in for our notification. He simply can't be bothered to receive any marketing message. And this is where we're going to leverage our in-app channels. In-app is a really powerful channel. The response rate of in-app messages is 7 times higher compared to push notification. And this is because we are reaching our customers where they're the most engaged. They're already within our app. Another really great benefit here is that there's really not a way to opt out, right? So this means that we are going to reach our players no matter what, or our customers, of course. Now, creating in-app messages with Optimove is really easy and intuitive. You don't need to know any code, and it really gives CRM marketers the power of in-app marketing. So taking that from the product team, from your app developer team, and just making sure that you can create those visually appealing messages directly from here. So when we're looking at this template, we can simply choose how we want the frame to be, right? Whether that's a full screen or just a smaller art. And if we want to add any other elements, we'll simply go into add it from the drop-down, control the padding. And this is just about the visuals, right? But we did discuss about relevancy. So when we are creating those messages, it's also important to understand when we want our users to receive that message. Whether it's a time-sensitive offer, right? Maybe we want it to receive whenever the app is open, right? Or maybe, again, just a product launch, a friendly reminder, the next time that our customers are going to log into the app, then we're going to pop it up. And of course, remember to set an expiration. Offers usually expire after 2 weeks, months, few days, so make sure that you use the expiration settings over here to set that up. So we engaged our customers when they were in the app. But the true power of a multi-channel marketing strategy is combining those channels. So with just one click of the button, I can also add a push notification to this specific template. So this means that not Mark, because he's unsubscribed, but me, which I am opting, I will receive a notification on this daily promotion. And then when I will log in to the app, when I just launch the app, I will see even more context about it. So that was our 2 channels. But not all customers engage the same way. Some of you do not have a native app, and some of you do have a native app, but your customers didn't download it. But they do log into your site, and most likely they do it from their phone. And that's where Web Inbox channel comes in. Web Inbox channel makes sure that your customers can still receive your notification, right? They will not be disturbed by it. When they log into the site, they will see all your offers, all your promotion, and they will still be updated. Now, we're not going to spoiler this too much. Tomorrow, Alec and Harry are going to discuss how you can leverage your site to use it as a true marketing channel. So make sure that you're going to go to that session tomorrow. So I think we covered our mobile push, we covered in-app channels, right? How we get players to the app, how we get customers to stay in the app, how we leverage our web channel as well. But what if we can reach customers where they interact the most, right? Where they talk with their family, or maybe they also book a reservation to the restaurant. WhatsApp channel, which we introduced last year, has over 2 billion users worldwide. We are on WhatsApp every day. And WhatsApp also offers rich media, text, personalization, and it's also a way to do those conversations. So not just sending one message, right? Not just announcing our newest collection for here. It's a matching family set for Christmas, right? But also customers can interact with this specific message. So asking, what is our delivery options, right? I want to understand that before I make a choice, even without going to the site. And this is really what makes WhatsApp the most engaging channel. So the click-through rate, the response rate of WhatsApp messaging are higher than mobile push and in-app messaging combined. So I hope you got some good ideas from here. And you got to incorporate that in your next time that you're building your mobile strategy. And now back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Can we jump back to the slides, guys? Thanks. Okay, so the countdown clock in front of me has turned red, and it's utterly terrifying, okay? So if I seem a little bit off, that's why. I want to very quickly talk about something that Shai touched upon in his presentation, which was our multi-channel preference center, and how this allows you to put users in control of the content that they receive. I was in the talk through in the other hall from Lucy at Tesco Bank about email deliverability. And one of the things she said was about how the rules of the ISPs are all designed about putting users in control, or putting us as consumers in control. The same with the iOS interruption level. It's about how the user, us as users, can control what notifications we receive and when. And that's how I want you to think about the preference center. Okay, I know that we have these, for those of you who work in gaming here in the UK, we have these regulation changes where you have to obtain consent for different products, sportsbook and casino, separately. But I want you to think about this as allowing your users to proactively control the type of content they receive, whether that's the topics that they're interested in following, the product categories that they might be interested in, the sports, their favorite teams, their favorite players. These are 3 real apps that I have on my phone where you can see different implementations of preferences. And that's what our new preference center allows you to do. It allows your users to opt in, to proactively say, I want to receive this type of content. And then when you receive it, you're able to say, okay, this is a message about tennis, or this is a message about football. And you can know with a degree of confidence that your users are going to be receptive to that. So again, yes, it will help with these upcoming regulation changes we have in the UK, but it also can help make your campaigns more effective. Okay, a few of the other new features that we've touched upon that are applicable to all of our channels. Data connections, so Shai talked about this, where you can pull in other data sources. He gave some very good examples. When we were developing this feature, all of our data was based around facts about cats, which is what you'd expect our developers to do. But this allows you to augment the information you already have about your customers with weather information, stock reports, whatever it might be, and use this within your templates. Message archiving. If any of you work in regulated industries where you have to retain copies of all of the marketing content that you send, this feature's for you. We will automatically keep a copy of every SMS, every email, every push notification in a storage location of your choice, and you can keep it for 7 years or however long the regulators require you to do that. With very simple, we can just enable this, point it at a storage blob of your choice. Multi-language campaigns. If any of you are marketing to multiple geographies and want to send out campaigns in different languages, make sure you see Yanon's session, I think later this afternoon, from MyHeritage, where they are localizing campaigns through Optimove to 25 different countries across all of their different channels. So this is, again, something that is available and we can talk about a little bit more. And as Shai announced, one of our newest features, which is content generation, variation, and optimization. So here we have an example of an email subject line test, but we'll be adding this to SMS and to push notifications, where through generative AI, we will take your subject line, we will create 4 or 5 different variants in different tones of language, or your SMS or your push notification, and as we send the campaign, we will experiment with this. We will see which users respond to which tone of voice better, and then start to optimize towards this. So one of the newest features we have that we're all quite excited about. So in conclusion, multi-channel marketing outperforms single-channel marketing, and multi-channel marketing with mobile channels outperforms that even more. We have mobile channels to cover, whether it's native mobile apps, progressive web apps, conversational, SMS. We have a mobile channel for you. Use images and personalization to create engaging mobile campaigns. Make sure you're looking at combining the channels together, so push and in-app, and put your users in control of the content that they receive. with our multi-channel preference center. Okay. If you'd like to know any more, please come to the Optimove zone. I'll be there all morning. Please grab me after this session, and we'll take any questions that you have. And as the clock is flashing red in front of me, one final thing is please rate not just this session, all of the sessions in the app. If we don't get a score of 4 and above, I'm not getting out of my cave next year, and I'll be locked in there for 52 weeks of the year. Thank you very much, and look forward to spending the next day with you. Okay?
Thank you.